Hi everyone, today I'm going to be walking you through how to swap a receptacle on an EVO system. So as you can see here, we have an EVO 1 in front of us with the door removed. The first step to removing a receptacle is to disconnect any dosing harnesses that may be present. If you have a system that has just UP, you will have the dosing harness on the left side only. If you have self-clean, you will have dosing harnesses on both sides to disconnect. Now that those harnesses are disconnected, I'm going to remove the receptacle from the system. So I'm going to lift up on the tilt bar to tilt the receptacle out. Now I'm then going to gently pull in and push up further to fully free the receptacle. I'm going to remove it from the pivot rod. And the last thing I'm going to do is remove the tubing off of the pierce tubes here. So if there are clips present, what you're going to need to do is pinch the clips together and just wiggle them past the barb that is going to be present on this pierce tube. I can pull the tubing off of the receptacle. And now that I've removed both of those sets of tubing, I can take the receptacle out, and now I'm going to grab my new one and I'm going to install it in the opposite order of what I just did. So I'm first going to reattach the tubes. So I'm going to gently push the tube onto that barb that's at the bottom of our pierce tube assembly. And I'm going to take the spring clamp and I'm going to pinch it, and this time push it past the barb. So it's really important to make sure that that clamp is past the barb but still on the tubing. And then I'm going to repeat that process over here on the self-clean side. So tube on, spring clamp past the barb on the plastic tube. Now I'm going to fully lift the tilt arm up. I'm going to line up these two holes onto the pivot rod so that my receptacle can rotate up and down. I'm going to rotate it up into its tilted position. And now I'm going to gently push the arms of the tilt bar onto the shoulder bolts. And it takes a little bit of work, just make sure it's lined up on both sides. And now that that's lined up, you should double check that you can tilt it down and tilt it back up. And once we reattach our dosing harnesses, we have swapped out our receptacle.